Welcome! I am the Kaijin Okami, and this is my quick review for the CGI remake of The Lion King. I was originally thinking how I wanted to do this quick review, if I wanted to just do it like all monotonous and like just static going, yeah, The Lion King is hands down the worst movie of 2019 thus far. And then I was like, well, that's not going to work. So I was thinking maybe I should record this review, but then do a second recording of me just sitting there like this. Since that will pretty much get the same effect on of how the lions react in this movie, because the lions are pretty much deadpan the entire movie. It's like, this is the lion happy. Meh. This is the lion sad. Meh. This is the lion crying. Meh. This is a lion finding out that someone's alive. Meh. This is a lion finding out that someone was killed. Meh. This is a lion finding out they were betrayed. Meh. And so forth. You get the point. Either way, this movie had no idea what the hell it wanted to be. Like, the animated Lion King is hands down my favorite Disney anime movie of all time. Ever since I saw it in theaters back in 1996, I've been in love with it. I've bought it on VHS, I bought it on DVD, I bought it on Blu-ray, I will buy it on 4K, and I'll buy it on the version that comes out after that, and the format after that. I will keep buying this movie because I am that much of a fan of it. However, this live action, which is not really live action because it's CGI, so it's still animated, but they're trying to sell it as a live action movie, I guess because some people are too stupid that they don't want to see a movie that's called animated because they're idiots. Okay, sure. Which doesn't make sense because this movie is not realistic enough to be live action, but it's not animated enough to be animated. For example, everything's done like this photorealistic aspect where this movie could pretty much be called Disney Nature Pictures Presents The Lions of Africa with dialogue spoken from the Lion King. Because that's what most of this movie feels like. It just feels like they were taking all these nature shots and putting Lion King dialogue and music over it because none of the music fits with what is actually being shown on screen. Like the I Can't Wait to Be King song. What the hell? It's Simba and Nala running, but they're not emoting the lyrics coming out of their mouths. None of the stuff on screen is relating to what is happening in the song. It's just them running by through these animals. No fun whatsoever. It's just like this lifeless, lifelike video going on. Then we have the joke that is Be Prepared. Oh my god, this thing wasn't even a song. It was awful. Scar is the worst part of this movie. It's basically just Baron Mordo reciting the script that Jeremy Irons had from the original Lion King movie. He has no emotion going into his dialogue, and even when he does fake emotion, it just doesn't register on his face. Then we have Mufasa, which James Earl Jones, you'd think would be perfect. He already did this role. You can tell he's clearly just doing this one for a paycheck. He's not into his character here. He's just like, oh, you want me to do what? Well, you know, you could just take my lines from the old one. No, you want to pay me to re-record the whole movie? Okay, I'm cool with that. It just doesn't fit. There is such an excellent cast here that is wasted. Keegan-Michael Key plays one of the hyenas. It is the biggest waste of his talents at all. It feels like that Disney said, okay, Key, we know you love comedy, but you're going to stick to this script and not improv anything because that's what we want. We want you to just read that. And it comes off horribly. He comes off as if he's not enjoying himself at all. The dialogue feels stilted. The death of Mufasa scene is pretty one-dimensional. Like Simba, you hear him crying, but you don't see any tears on his face. He's not emoting at all. Honestly, I actually wanted to walk out of this movie at like the 20-minute mark because of how horrible it was. It is without a doubt the worst movie of 2019. Like I already said, they're trying to go for this realistic approach, but they still want to make it be musical, which doesn't work. And then we have scenes like, okay, Mufasa's cloud scene, which everyone knows of, and I'm hoping that everyone knows the Lion King story, so none of this is spoilers. If it is, oops, my bad. But I'm basing it that everyone knows the Lion King and has seen the Lion King before. So we have that scene, the great cloud scene of Mufasa in the sky. They've done it in this like realistic approach where Simba's looking up and it's just a cloud passing over. And when lightning flickers, it looks like that it could be Mufasa's face in the clouds, kind of like how people will see Jesus in the clouds, or the devil in smoke and all that stuff, where it's basically you're only seeing it because that's what you want to see. In fact, I'm sure that I only saw Mufasa's face in those clouds because that's what I wanted to see in those clouds. That's how unrealistic, realistically, this movie is. Yes, I understand that probably sounds kind of oxymoronic to be unrealistic and realistic at the same time, but that's exactly what this movie is. It's unrealistically realistic as far as a Lion King story goes. If you wanted to do the Lion King realistically, you shouldn't be having the songs in there. It should just be a straightforward movie. No music whatsoever, because that completely destroys the entire thing. However, this movie does have two saving graces. Timon and Pumbaa. Timon and Pumbaa were amazing. They saved this from being a complete waste of time. All their dialogue is well done. Their acting is great. They really were into their characters. And most of all, Disney decided to make the characters emote. Like when they're singing, Pumbaa is actually looking like he is singing. It doesn't look like he's opening up his mouth and a song is just coming out. He's actually like, rah, rah, when he's singing Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata is the best part of the movie. My other favorite scene in the movie is actually dealing with Nala that is original to this movie. This movie was just completely unnecessary, does not need to exist, and Disney just needs to give it up. They should have went for the approach that they did with Jungle Book, where all the characters, they still did emotions, but they kept the music low-key because they wanted to have it more realistic. This, no frickin' idea, and it's just awful because of it. It does not work. It's horrible rendition. It's way too long. It was like 2 hours long when it did not need to be. Just go watch the animated movie instead. Don't waste your time on this crap. Don't waste your money on this. I could go on for hours of how awful this was. In the end, I don't even know what the hell I want to give The Lion King out of 10 because it's just awful. I don't know if I want to give it a 5 because of how visually impressive it was, and it was at least halfway decent in the visual department. The soundtrack was pretty kick-ass because it's the exact same soundtrack lifted over from the old movie, except for Be Prepared. It loses definitely 2 points for Be Prepared and its shittiness. It loses 2 points for sure for how emotionless the lions are, probably more. So yeah, I don't know what I want to give this movie. It's just a shit out of 10. Don't waste your time, and I'll be surprised if I actually do hate something as much as this come the end of the year. Until next time, bye.